what happens at a golf club has the most impact on the success of the game of golf. With all due respect to the PGA Tour, it's great, and from an entertainment standpoint, it's great. From a fan interest engagement standpoint, it's great. From stimulating interest in the game, it's great. But golf rises and falls on the success of the individual golf facilities, public and private. Now, we focus on private, as you know. But to me, the work that Club Benchmarking does is having such an impact on the success of the golf industry through the success of golf clubs. The reason that board advisory services are included in the suite of offerings from Club Benchmarking is we consider governance and leadership to be critical to the success of a private club. And so we offer products and services directed toward general managers and boards of clubs that enables them to achieve higher levels of leadership through good basic fundamentals around governance. I've been in the golf industry 42 years, 35 of which I spent as a chief executive of a state organization, a national organization, and an international organization. So during that time, I reported to 35 different boards, and I also served on boards during that time too. And so I got to see good governance and what that looks like, and I got to see not so good governance and what that looks like. Then on top of that, for whatever reason, I became a student of governance, so I'm one of those kind of weird people that likes it, governance and leadership and strategy. So we created a little boutique practice within the firm called Governance and Leadership, which I head up. Governance is not why board members get involved on the board. It's not why a GM becomes a GM, but it's part of the infrastructure that needs to be in place. So we can come in from the outside and create an infrastructure that sure, the club board and the club GM could do, but when are they going to do it? And when are they going to have the time really to focus on it? So that's one point. The second point I think is really important, and that is we have the benefit of having worked with about 1,000 different clubs, not me personally, but the firm has. And so we've got great data, great insight. We've worked with about 600 club boards and GMs directly. So we've got all that knowledge that we could help bring to bear in helping a club design whatever the best governance system is for them. In my experience, there are three things that club boards seem to need the most. And these are not in order of importance, just how I call them. One is a board policy manual. And much like I said, it's difficult for a GM and a board to focus on governance generally. The same holds true for a board policy manual. And we actually help clubs write board policy manuals. Now, some already have it, and it's just a matter of updating it, and that's great, but most don't have it, or at least it's not as comprehensive as what we recommend. And so we can help pull all the documents together. We have a process and a flow to it that enables a club to take what we did and create their own board policy manual. So that's one. Two, on bylaws revisions, through that database and the experience we have working with so many clubs, we can take any club's bylaws and make pretty good recommendations about how they can be modernized. In a lot of cases, they haven't been updated for 20, 30 years, and the world we live in is very different today. So just the ability for us to be able to say, hey, look, these are modern practices around bylaws, here's language, etc., is another area where we can be helpful, and we can focus on it. And then we have the benefit of having worked with all these different clubs. And then the third area is on board retreats. Now, a club could do its own board retreat, no problem. But again, what we can bring is the experience that we have with so many other clubs on a lot of the issues that clubs pretty much all have to deal with. Each club has its own culture, and so that's unique, and we recognize that. But every club has the same business model. And so we take that to all clubs because we've seen it operate across so many different clubs, and we can help them because they're actually more similar than dissimilar, even though some like to think that they're very different. The fact is, their business models are pretty similar.